Hi guys, I just wanted to shoot you a short video about Chad's App Empire system, just so you understand, what you're actually getting. Because, I know it's a high ticket item and it's not for everyone. I get that, and I've had a lot of questions from people saying, "What has it got? This? Has it got that? Why is it good for me?" And I just want to run through it just to give you an idea of why I think it's really good. And if you're thinking at all about getting into the apps market, which I think you should. But if you are, then this is why this is the system to get. I really believe in this. So, let me just walk you through it quickly. So obviously, a lot of welcome videos. That the quality of the course is excellent. Don't worry about that whatsoever. Not that that's a reason to buy, but it's really, really well put together. So a lot about obviously mindset and everything, but that's not why you're getting the course. So first of all, Chad talks a lot about what is a hit app and what makes it viable, and then goes into the market research and what he calls the art of emulation. And this is what rings true to me because a lot of people get stuck in two things. One, people think that they have to create a game to make money on the App Store. And the other side, people just don't know, they think, well, I need something massively innovative that no one else has ever thought of, which is simply not true. You can come up with the greatest app in the world, but it won't sell necessarily. You have to make sure there's a market for it. And how do you know there's a market for it? So obviously we use keyword tools and all those sorts of things, but one of the cleverest ways is to find out what is selling now. Okay. And this is what is really important to get, and that is that if you can find apps that are selling and look at how they're engineered, there's no reason why you can't, basically redo that yourself. Okay, recreate that same app, but make it a little bit better. Okay, tweak everything, and then look at whether you can take that to another market, find gaps in the other market, or in another country or language, or perhaps a different platform, a different device. Take something iPhone to iPad, but all those sorts of things. All you need to do is take something that's already there and re-engineer it as your own. Okay, and that's key to get. So that then takes away all the complexity and risk about creating a new app, because everyone, who starts off without any support or help will tend to dive in, spend thousands on, a new app, and it completely flop. Yeah. So the key is you got to find out that you got to find the space and know that it's gonna sell before you produce it, right? And that's one of the key things that Chad and I ring true, because I did the same with Link Finder Pro. So one of my best-selling apps, it was called Link Finder Pro, and there's nothing special about Link Finder Pro, and I put that in my emails to you. It's not rocket science, it's not groundbreaking, it finds comment links, right? But it does it in a very simple way. It's very, very effective. You can get the PR for different links, and you can check to see which ones are no follow or follow. So I've taken sort of a basic concept and just taken it that step further, and I've also made it cross-platform. So it's the same principle, okay? And once you get that, you realize that perhaps the barriers to creating your own app aren't as high as what you might think. Okay, bear in mind though that when you're outsourcing some development to create an app, there's a market price, if you like, and you're going to be looking at, if you outsource an app from scratch without any sort of framework, it's probably going to cost you between $1,000 and $2,000. Okay, so bear that in mind when you're thinking of budgeting for this. In fact, Chad says he has like a 3,000 rule. He's basically saying if I can't do it for less than 3,000, I won't do it. Okay, and I'm sure he's very much thinking a layer ahead of where we are today. But it's still important to understand there are costs involved when you outsource and get an app built for you. So let me just take you through the rest of the course. So he goes through obviously how to plan, how to research, and some step-by-step checklist to go through, so that you're focusing on an app that's gonna succeed. Okay, obviously getting yourself set up, with App Store, but thankfully he doesn't spend huge amounts of time on the basics. We can do that ourselves, right? But then goes through the design. Funny enough, he uses Balsamiq, which I use a lot for my apps. It's a really, really good tool. Goes through the hiring process, because obviously you need to find a developer to do this. You need to make sure you get a good quality one. So you go through some principles and what to look for when you're doing that. And I've been through a lot of that with my own business. So I can certainly help you with that. The testing side, and then obviously publishing it, into the App Store. And that's where the magic starts to happen. And then talking about the marketing, and then this is the key, because so many people, are creating apps themselves, often developers, and they just expect it to explode. And of course it doesn't, because, it's the marketing, identifying the market and marketing it is the key to making it, explode. And he has a great interview with this guy, Charlie, who is the guy behind Tim Ferriss's, the 4-Hour Body book, his second book, and a whole load of other, big book launches. Very clever guy, Charlie, and a really interesting interview there. So then, looking at the analytics, the data, identifying what apps are working, what's not, so which apps target. And then, tweaking version 1.1, 1.2, etc., and moving your app forward. And I mean, as you can see, there's tons and tons of content here, very well laid out, very well structured. If you buy it, you get it delivered as discs. Okay, so it comes in a proper packaged volume, but obviously you can access it online as well. But you actually get a physical delivery. And then he starts talking through some of the software. Okay, and I'll show you the software in a second, but before we get to the end, there's the key bits, which is monetization. So all the different monetization strategies. So you basically, with this whole system, you research the market, you choose the right products, you understand how to market it, how to monetize your products, and obviously how to hire a team and get it built. Okay, and right at the end there, how to actually sell an app business, and that's where the big money is. Okay, once you've got a handful of successful apps generating traffic, then there's huge money in that, but that's a little way off yet. And then on the software side, this is really smart. I don't think I should delve into this because it's quite proprietary, but this basically is like a view of the whole of the App Store. So you can drill into any niche, see what's working, what's rising, what's climbing, what's not. You see all the new launches, literally everything at your fingertips. And what's really clever here is, and I don't want to go into these because I know that they're probably quite sensitive. But there's tools there to identify weaknesses in other apps. Okay, so you can see an app that's selling. But it's not available on iPhone 4S, for example, or Retina display, the fancy graphical display, or put it in HD or something like that. All those little gaps. So you can then take that idea, build it yourself, and do the HD version. Okay, which of course everyone's going to buy because everyone wants an HD version. Okay. And different things like that, and different keywords, drilling into what keywords and niches or niches, as the US say, what's actually working and what's not working. So as I said, I don't want to drill into any of these because it's really, really good stuff, and I'm sure they don't really want that on an open video. But that's what you're getting, and it's a fantastic system. It's really detailed, it's really good quality. It's not something, I know it's nothing like a WSO price or anything like that. It's a big ticket item, but if there's something and you've got the money, okay, don't spend your last penny on this, right? If at all. But if you have the money and you're ready to get serious about creating an app business, then this by far I think is the best system I've seen to do that. And of course, as I said, if you get that through my link, then I'm here and we'll work as a team You know, I've done a lot of software, so I know about outsourcing and developers and everything around that. So, you know, we'll work as a team together to get our apps built. All right. So, you know, I think that's the real value. And bear in mind that not at this price as well, it's not going to sell thousands and thousands of copies. Okay. So the group of people who are going to be buying this are in the hundreds. Okay. So actually quite a small group. Yeah. I'm quite excited about it. There'll be some webinars coming up next week. But, you know, if you're on the fence, I hope that sort of solidifies it in your mind that this is definitely something very, very interesting. And I feel great promoting it to you because you know, if it's something that you want, get in the app business, this is the one to get. So anyway, I'll sign off now, and thanks for your time, and I hope that was useful.